Goobers, it's me, your favorite goober. I have two things I want to talk about. The second thing is the more important thing. But firstly, I wanted to mention an update on that cruise housekeeper, position. I think it would be cool to have gone on like a cruise 28 weeks, housekeeping, but there was some documentation that I wouldn't be able to get in order before, the job, so I'm not able to apply to it. I just don't have the required what's it? It's like a kind of ID. I just don't have it, and I wouldn't be able to get it in time. However, I think it's a bit of a blessing in disguise because I looked into it, and there's a lot that I personally perceive as pretty negative. I do think overall it would be a pretty interesting, unique, and fun experience, but there's a lot of things to consider, and I think that even if I had the opportunity to, I'd be a little reluctant, right? So there's that. But the main thing I wanted to talk about today was about Project Fear. And I want to talk about a character idea that I have. This is supposed to be an antagonistic character, not a villain. I wouldn't say they're evil, but they are an antagonist. The idea for this character originated from the fear, and it came from a not a fun fact, but a fact that I had learned, and I was inspired to kind of draft up a rough idea for a character. So that unfun fact is this: black people were cannibalized. They were eaten. It sounds fake when you say it out loud, it doesn't sound real, but it is true. It is true. And I don't remember exactly when I learned it. It was a while ago, but recently that idea popped into my head to create a character around that. I think that cannibalism is a pretty interesting thing to be afraid of. I think that there's some interesting powers I could come up with that revolve around, consumption, and cannibalism in particular. Excuse me. But I think adding on this extra bit could be pretty interesting, I would argue. Um, the idea is simple. At a young age, the boy's mother would be educating him. He'd be at an impressionable age. There's a reason, why this fear would really stick to him. And she'd be educating her son on some of the things that, their people had to endure throughout history. And she eventually mentions how they've been cannibalized in the past. And this would really stick with the son, and he would grow up just constantly afraid of potentially getting eaten by others. And so I thought that as a rough idea for a character, it could be pretty interesting. There's definitely a level of tactfulness I'll have to have going into a character like this, but I do trust myself to really manage and take care of the necessary uh, respect that I need to have for writing a character like this. Um, I believe that I can do it though. I hope that it's a character that can be enjoyed, can be um, respected, I suppose. But yeah, I will definitely have to do a lot of work to bring them to life to their fullest. So yeah, it's kind of just the rough idea for that character. Wanted to kind of get some opinions on them and whatnot. That's everything for today. I'm pretty tired, so I'm going to just go ahead and end it here. Good night and good luck. I hope you all have a wonderful day.